Hi guys and welcome back. Today we've got a brand new classic review and we've got Dan O'Bannon's 1985 cult favourite Return of the Living Dead. Jenks will be happy about this one.
Get in there.
We've got running zombies, we've got
Yeah.
intelligent zombies and even talking zombies. Is this the most underrated zombie movie ever made or does it lack?
It is definitely the most underrated zombie movie of all time. It is my favourite movie ever. Not just my favourite zombie movie, not just my favourite horror. I love this movie. People throw the term cult a lot. And, cult means that not many people know it, but Return of the Living Dead, there's loads of fans of it. It's an awesome movie. Dan O'Bannon, the director and writer, the guy who wrote Alien. Arguably one of the best monster movies ever. So this is by far the greatest zombie movie ever. It's got running zombies, the first one ever to do it, not 28 days later. I always defend it. Every time I read an article saying it's the first, I'm like screaming as if somehow like my son, they've badmouthed my son. Hey, that's my son you're talking about.
Yeah. Well,
But
Dan O'Bannon also worked on John Carpenter's first ever movie as well, Dark Star, which is very similar to Alien, but with like this volleyball monster in space. But he
that
took
sounds awesome.
he took what he learned from that and took it to Alien, which is crazy. Like
Yeah.
the guy who directed Return of the Living Dead, which it's a bit of a trashy movie, but it's great. It's good trash. Wrote Alien. It's just quite hard to believe, really.
And he wrote Total Recall, Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is bonkers. What I love about this movie is that they're rotten zombies, and it's my favorite type of zombie. And I know it's ridiculous that they can come out of the ground. There's no way they get out of a coffin. But that's what I love about it. I don't really care. You got to suspend a little bit of disbelief. That's what made me fall in love with zombies, the sort of proper graveyard zombies.
100%.
That's what made Michael Jackson's Thriller so awesome. Really grotesque zombies. But I grew up with this. I've mentioned it before on another video. Your dad owned a copy of this, and that's what introduced me to it. And I don't know what it is when you're a kid, when you watch a horror, something clicks. And this
100%.
was one of those that clicked, there.
Yeah, and it's definitely got that magic about it. It's a violent movie, but it's definitely a perfect gateway horror for someone just getting in because there's something in there for everyone. And what I love the most about this film is I kind of feel like right. So I think the characters in this movie are so good, right, and so iconic that I don't really care about the zombies in this film because I enjoy these characters so much. I kind of don't want to see the zombies. I just want to be stuck in a room with these guys because everyone is just written brilliantly. No one is there to be wasted or a side character. Everyone's got their part to play. And I love one location movies, and this one plays into that perfectly. You've obviously got the graveyard and the building surrounding the graveyard, like the Undertaker's room.
Yeah.
It's just a perfect movie. Now, I obviously not as big of a fan as you, Jenks.
Yeah.
In my top movies, it never connected with me as much as it did with you. I was more into Evil Dead 2. But yeah, it's an absolute.
You're right about the cards. For me, it takes about a good hour, or at least 45 minutes to get to the proper zombie action. No, because it's not like it's. You'd say it's slow, but it's not slow. There's plenty that happens, especially when they find. So if you haven't seen it, which I'm sure everyone watching this would have seen it, there's this gas canister from the army that leaks and infects this like warehouse, medical supply warehouse, and it leaks onto the graveyard, and all hell breaks loose. But the build up to that, these two characters, Freddie and on this podcast, I've just forgotten his name. Frank, yeah. Freddie and Frank, two best characters. They get infected by this gas and they're slowly rotting from the inside. They're getting rigor mortis. And this is what makes this film so much different and better to the average one. They are absolutely agony, and you feel every crunching bone.
Do you
You
know,
you genuinely believe it.
yeah, just to add on to that, Jenks, every single time I watch this film, right, and specifically when I was younger, when you feel a lot more when you watch a film,
Yeah,
is when they're ill, my stomach just goes. My stomach's gone because they sell it so well and they genuinely look ill. That's
yes.
the best way I can
Oh,
explain it. It's just horrific. And what's great about it is the build up is they're just two idiots
yes.
and they deliver their lines great, but they don't particularly do anything that stands out. They're just two guys in a horror movie.
Yeah,
But soon as they start getting ill and they start going white and you've got the black under their eyes, they sell it so well.
yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Do you know as well with this film, you know, they got the where the zombies can talk, and when you pitch this movie to somebody, talking zombies, they sound talking zombies. That sounds shit. They can't
Yeah,
get past. Like, trust me, just watch it. It'll kind of make sense. Now you
yeah,
have to look past the fact that their vocals are intact, their eyeballs are in top notch. But even that, but Walking Dead, they've all can see, they all can smell. It, you know, it's
yeah.
ridiculous. But when they say the word brains, that is only from this film, and this becomes such a big part of pop culture. I say
It is, yeah.
culture then, pop culture. Um, that like it's in The Simpsons, you know, the Halloween special where all the zombies are saying brains, and you assume well, it's just zombies. Like no, it's literally only from this movie. There's no
Yeah.
other films that use brains.
And
Um,
obviously you've got that great scene as well where they've got the torso on the bed and she's explaining to them
yes,
why. That scene is so good
yeah,
and
it's
no other
awesome.
movie would do that. You've got a talking zombie on a bed, right,
Yes.
explaining why they want brains and
Yes,
how
there's
much it hurts to be dead. It's such a powerful
yeah.
scene. Like,
Because yeah, they're interrogating a zombie, and
yeah,
yes, you could argue. I mean, animatronics is it's fantastic, but it is quite powerful, especially with the music. And yeah,
exactly.
I think if you're young and if I stuck it on for my daughter, she might think, "Oh, this is crap."
Yeah.
But if you can look past the sort of shoddy effects here and there, it's awesome. There's one scene in particular that I do not like, and
I know
Dan
what scene.
O'Bannon has even said the same. It's the skeleton that comes up and his mouth opens. It is
Yeah.
so it's quite jarring. Even when I watched it in the 80s, I'm like, but you've got Tarman, which is an amazing zombie. You've got
Yes.
the torso, the zombies outside with the fast moving ones, which are all particularly look great, really good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you've got this
The skull.
this like yeah, this
It
skeleton.
looks like the skull from Evil Dead 2 poster.
Yeah, but it's the torso, and it comes up from the ground, and it looks bad even for the 80s, as if like
Yeah, yeah.
they've got it from like a Halloween shop.
Yeah,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, but my favorite, my favorite scenes in this, again, it's not a zombie scene. It's Linnea Quigley when she does. Is that how she pronounce her name? Linnea, I think it
Quigley,
is.
yeah, Linnea. Yeah, I think so.
When she does the naked dance. Now,
Yeah, it's so good.
apart from Dusk Till Dawn, Sam Hayek's famous dance, this is the second best, sexiest naked dance you've ever seen.
Yes. Yeah.
This woman has got iron breasts, you know.
Iron
You
Breasts.
you know, she is so sexy in this film, and
She's she's a terrifying zombie as well. Like when she turns that bit where you get that
yes,
quick glimpse of her when she jumps forward. Such a scary zombie. Probably one of the scariest zombies ever.
yes, and she when her mouth opens, and
Yes, exactly.
I,
Yeah.
s- I s-
Terrifying.
I suppose it's quite confusing for people who haven't watched this lots of times to know the rules. So the gas brings you back from the dead. It leaks up into the atmosphere, and it becomes acid rain and infects and
Yes,
soaks into the soil.
you've got that great scene in the graveyard where you've
Yes.
got the smoke. Such a good scene.
But because Linnea Quigley's turned into a zombie, you think, how is she turned into a zombie? It's not bites that cause it, but you realize she's been submerged in all that water. But what I like about it is that you don't have to explain to you. It's just you got to kind
But
of work it out, you
it
know?
comes with the territory as well. Like if you watch this film, it feels like a spoof of
Yeah.
zombie movies. It does not take itself seriously at all, but it is scary. There's a lot of stuff in there that are genuinely terrifying, and it's got one scene right that still to this day right turns my stomach, and it's when what's his name? The one with the mohawk and the chain in his face.
Suicide.
Suicide. When Tarman takes an ant out of his head like an apple,
Yes.
that effect, right, with the teeth grinding, oh, it's horrific.
I don't know whether I'd be able to bite some through someone's skull, you know? I don't know if it's
Yeah.
hard enough to bite through an apple sometimes, hurting your
Yeah.
teeth.
And he's definitely not got good gums. He's definitely got a bit of gum decay.
He was all gums. It was just teeth, and then the
Yeah.
rest of his head was gums.
But
Um,
Tarman is such a good zombie, in he? Oh my god, the way
yes.
he moves, it's so good.
Yes, well, that's the thing about that. They made a point of hiring an actor to play Tama rather than just like a guy,
Yes,
like a
of
stunt
course.
man, because he could move and he was very skinny and it was
Yeah.
like no CGI in those days.
Um, Jenks, before we wrap this one up, right, you need to tell me who your favourite character in this movie is and why.
Right, that's easy. Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's probably Spider.
Yeah?
I can't remember Miguel something. His name is. He's the black dude, and he's from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Miguel something.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. That's what I love with this film. All the characters are memorable. Maybe they're memorable because I've watched this film about 500
Yeah.
times. But
Yeah.
I love that character. He's the coolest. He's the toughest. And yeah, what about you? Who's your favorite
Yeah.
character?
Right, so I love Freddie, right? And just to drop, I met Thom Matthews a few months ago. I got a photo of him. Awesome guy.
Yeah.
But every time I watch this movie, the character I gravitate towards the most, right, is Ernie, played by Don Calfa, right? I
Yes.
absolutely love this guy. And I don't know much else that he's in, but he's got one of the best faces ever. It's those big eyes, right? And it's just the expressions he pulls. And he
Yes.
just delivers his lines so funny. He's like what's the word for it? Like dry humor. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't throw anything at you that's hilarious. It's just his facial expressions and the way he delivers his lines.
Uh,
But Ernie
he's
is the character. Every time I watch it, I enjoy his performance more than anyone
Do
else's.
you know, like, because I can't, I'm sure I read, because he's called Ernie and the other one's called Bert.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't remember, I read somewhere there was just a coincidence or it was
Oh,
on purpose, you know.
yeah, there's no way.
Uh, but yeah, he's a great character. He's actually in Weekend at Bernie's as like a
Oh
gangster.
yeah.
I think it's
He
the only
looks
thing.
like Raul Julia.
Is there? Yeah, he has got
They
those
could
bug
be
eyes.
yeah, they could be
Uh,
brothers like.
I actually read. I've got a copy of Revenge of the Living Dead. It's the comic book sequel he wrote.
Yes, yes.
It's not very good, unfortunately. I want an extension of it, but it kind of bugged me because it changed the rules a little bit. They could just I
Yeah.
think they would just shoot the zombies or something happened. No, sorry, you get bit and you turn into a zombie. Thinking you've changed the rules.
Yeah.
I'm a stickler for rules. I don't mind tweaking. Like I
Jenks
know,
the rule man. Yeah.
well, continuity. Right, best kill. Is it going to be
Um,
suicide?
Best kill. It'll have to be suicide, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
I said earlier, with that bite, it's the one that affects me the most. It's the one I always react to the most. It's gotta be suicide's death by Tarman.
Right. My best kill is not really a kill because it's against a zombie and you can't kill a zombie, but it's when Bert takes the baseball bat and
Oh
takes
yeah.
off Tarman's head. That
Yeah.
effect
Just
is
comes right
amazing.
off.
But
Yeah.
it's amazing effect. I mean, I
Yeah.
watched it so many times thinking, I can't see where the cut is. They've taken that guy's head off. It's an amazing quick
Yeah.
flash.
Yeah.
Yes, I love it. What's your favorite line? And what's the best line? Because this film has got loads of good lines.
Easy, right? I don't have to prep anything for this one. I did know you were going to ask me that, right? But the best line in this movie, right, is when Frank and Freddie are having an argument, and Frank says to Freddie, "You better watch your mouth if you like this job." And then Freddie goes, "Like this job?"
Yeah.
One of the best lines
Yeah.
ever.
Watch
Like,
your
are you
tongue, boy,
mental?
if you like this job. My favorite line is probably the most famous line. Well, that's probably quite famous as well. But it's the send more paramedics. Now,
Yes.
that is such a good line, and it's delivered by a zombie
Yeah.
into an intercom. And there's actually a band in America called Send More Paramedics. That's how iconic
Is
that
there?
is. Yes. I love it.
There we are then, guys. We really hope you enjoyed that one. We'll catch you on the next video.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.